I will never forget when my sister and I were kids. We used to play in our basement with all of the other kids on our street. But instead of video games and stuff, we'd play work. I know, kind of boring, right? But we saw our parents going to work, talking about work and all that stuff, and so we wanted to pretend to be like our parents. Have you ever done anything like that? Well, we'd play work, which meant that some of us would take turns being the workers, while others got to be the bosses. Now, don't get me wrong, being the worker was always just as much fun as being the boss, but being the boss meant that we got to tell everyone else what to do. The boss had a ton of power, and the workers just had to do it all. And then we'd switch. Now, just so you know, that's not really how most jobs really work. In fact, a good boss doesn't just tell people what to do, and if they do have to do that, a good boss is really nice about it. We were probably not the nicest bosses. Today, I'm thinking about a person from the Bible who, though he wasn't a boss, like in a company where grown-ups work, he was in charge of a lot of people, and he had a lot of power. His name was kind of funny. Pontius Pilate. Kind of sounds like pilot, like the person who flies an airplane, right? Well, his job was to be in charge of the area of the world where Jesus lived. And Pilate loved to do one thing more than anything else. He liked to be in charge. So when Jesus started telling everyone that he was like a king of God's kingdom, Pilate didn't like that very much. And he made it so that Jesus would be crucified on the cross. Yeah, not a good guy, right? Sometimes, whether we're kids playing work and pretending to be bosses, or adults who are actually working and working with their bosses, it can be easy to forget that God is really the one in charge. God wants us to do one thing with all the power we have. God wants us to love. And love a lot. We've probably forgot that once in a while, like Pilate. So let's do our best to love all of the time. And remember that even when we forget to love, God is still loving us.